Hi everyone, this is Jack Reeder with FMX Solutions. We've had a lot of requests and interest about our Pro Mobile Tech app, so we thought we'd put together a demonstration to show you how it works. On the screen I have two versions of the app. Actually, it's the same thing. I just on the right hand side I'm showing it via my iPhone. So you can see this is my iPhone, and I'm just looking at the app through a browser. Everything works the same on the iPhone as it does anywhere else. It's just easier for this demonstration to use my pointer so I can show you what I'm clicking on. So I'm going to use a browser window to demonstrate. You can see this is just a browser window on my desktop. So this app can work on a smartphone, a tablet, or in any desktop browser. I'll keep it small so it mimics a phone, but you don't have to. Again, it can be used anywhere. All right, here's how the app works. Towards the top, there are three different buttons showing you the number of actions that are either assigned to you, that's the blue button, to your groups that you belong to, that's the gold button, and if you have any actions assigned to you for validation, for approvals, that would be in the green button. By default, we're looking at the information for the blue button down here, My Actions. However, clicking on any of these other buttons at the top will show you the actions according to that button. These are the actions for the groups that I belong to, and so on. Let's go back to my actions. Now, underneath these buttons, we have a few other buttons for functionality. We'll go over those in just a moment. But let's take a look at my actions for now. The whole idea here is for you to be able to scroll and find an action that you're interested in, or search using the search bar. Let's say this is the action that I'm interested in. Tapping on that action will show you details about that action. And you can see the parameters here, or the attributes related to this ticket. You can change these if you wish. This is what we provide out of the box. So professional services or your own modifications of the app will allow you to change what attributes are visible here. We have several buttons toward the bottom that allow us to take action against these actions or these tickets. So we can create or update a comment, we can create a related action, we can log activity, transfer an action, or complete the action. These are all very common functions from within Service Engine, so we've repeated that functionality here in the app. Let's demonstrate one of these. The Action Comment button allows us to see the existing comment, which, by the way, you could see. Let me cancel this. I didn't point that out before. So in this action, here is the comment for the action. So I don't need to click the button to see the action, but if I want to modify it or update, if I want to add my own notes, I could either log activity or I can modify the existing comment in the action. So I'll go ahead and update the existing comment. So here's the comment that was there. Let's say I want to change this to So I'm just updating the comment. You could delete it, you could add to it. In this case, I'm modifying the existing comment. Click OK, and in real time, the comment in the action is updated. If we were to go back and expand this action again, we'll see that the comment has been updated with what I just entered in. So this is a real-time update. The other actions work pretty much the same way. We're going to keep this demonstration very short. These buttons prompt for the information needed to perform each of these actions. Create a related action will prompt you for, let me get rid of this box, to select an activity type. Why are you what's the purpose of this related action? What group are you transferring it to? Once you pick a group, you then can pick a staff member in that group. Let's say it'll go to James, and send that person a note so they know why you're assigning an action to them. Click OK, and that action is assigned to that user. This is a related action, so your action doesn't go away, but they get an additional action so you can get someone else helping you to resolve this issue, or a service request. We happen to be looking at incidents at the top here, but there are also service requests in here, and they work exactly the same way. Some of the other buttons are log activity. Same thing, what kind of activity are you logging? Put in your comment, save it, and you get a date, time, and ID stamped note in the ticket. Transfer an action. So if this action should no longer be assigned to you, but you're not completing the action, use the transfer button again, just like you would in Service Engine. Clicking this will prompt you for who to transfer it to. Get rid of that confirmation message. The transfer to this group, so pick a group. Again, I'm just picking the groups that happen to be at the top of this list. And then from within that group, you don't have to pick a person in the group. I'm just picking one for the heck of it. So if you want to transfer it, put in your note why you're transferring it to this person and click OK. I'm going to cancel this because I'm going to keep this action in my queue. I don't want it to leave my queue. And then finally, there's the complete action button. This does exactly what you're used to. It completes the action. You've completed what's been asked of you, and there's no one to transfer it to. You don't need a related action. Everything's finished. The workflow will then advance to whatever the next step in the workflow is by clicking on complete. Let's roll this up. Let's take a look at the group queue. So there's a slight difference in the group queue. If we look at an action in the group queue, these aren't assigned to you or anyone else. So either you're going to work on it and complete the action, or if you want to take it out of the queue because you're going to be working on it for a while, or you want to work on it later and you want to get it out of the group queue, use the Assign to Me button. And this will just confirm that you want to assign this action to you. Once you click that button, the action is moved out of the group queue and into your personal queue. So the 36 will decrement to 35 and the My Actions queue will increase to 8. Let's go back to My Actions. Only on the first screen are we presenting these additional features just because it doesn't make sense to hog up the real estate on these other buttons. As you can see on the group queue, the buttons disappear, the extra buttons. It's only one tap away. So under the log incident, this lets you do just that. You can create an incident in the field. And the way we've done this is we've allowed you to search or scroll to find the appropriate category that you're interested in. So let's say it's this first one here. Click Select. Who is this for? Give it a title, urgency, description, user service, user asset, attachments, the typical stuff when you're creating a ticket, and go ahead and submit it. So this ticket will go in the queue. If you happen to be in that queue, then it'll show up in your groups, or if you assign it to yourself, it'll show assigned to you. But typically, it's just going to go to the group. So we can log new incidents. We can also log requests. So if you get a shoulder tap for a request, you could find the category in the list here, answer the appropriate questions for submitting it on behalf of that person, and go ahead and submit it. Now, these examples that we're showing have very simple questionnaires, but they could be whatever you need them to be. We've also included the ability to search for and modify assets. So you can see here, this is a large list of, I think 29, almost 30,000 assets. And here they are. You can search the asset by asset tag, by serial number, by model, by user. If you want to know all the assets that a particular user has, just dial in their name and it'll find the user's assets. We can also look at deployed versus in stock or loaner assets, or however you want to break down your assets in the field. Once you've found the asset that you're interested in, let's go ahead and just open, I'll just open the top one. Again, it expands, showing you details about that asset. So asset tag, serial, status, main user, location, department, that's what we're displaying now. But you could augment this if you needed to, update it with additional attributes that are critical to you. If you find, or the user in the field finds that there's something they want to change about the asset, they use the update button on the right-hand side. This will prompt you for whatever curated list of attributes you want the user to be able to modify in the field. In this case, we're giving the user the ability to modify the status, the asset tag, the serial number, the network ID, main user, equipment location, and equipment department. But you could change this list, you could limit it, you could remove some of these or add to it, whatever you want them to be able to use. And at the top, we're just confirming which make and model device they're updating. Okay, so if I wanted to change this from network ID from Hummingbird to Hummingbird 2, for example, just click, just make the change, click OK, and again in real time that modifications being made to this asset. Now, when it comes to assets, you can see down here where to go, the network ID. Notice it doesn't say Hummingbird because I didn't refresh the page. So if you want to see that change live here, you would need to refresh the page. It's not a big deal. Or you can just click the update button. That's going to pull from the database in real time. And you'll be able to see that Hummingbird has been updated to number 2. Or I could refresh my screen. So I'll just refresh my browser. And pull up that asset again. And we can see that it says Hummingbird 2. All right, so we reserved one more area for you to use how you wish. We call it the dashboard button, but this button could be labeled to whatever you want. It's an extra page in the dashboard or in the app where you could have a dashboard. Again, there's not much configured here right now. This is really sort of a blank canvas for you to be able to utilize however you wish for your technicians if there's something that would be helpful to them when they're in the field. Okay, so if you have any questions about the Pro Mobile Tech app, please contact me or anyone here at FMX Solutions. We'd love to talk to you about it. The purpose of this demonstration, this recording, is to avoid the need for scheduling demos so that you can get a good idea of what this app can do. And if you want to discuss it further, we can meet. Thank you very much for attending. And again, we look forward to hearing from you.